poor man do? Go ahead.
Verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Y'all hear that? No evil for evil. No evil for evil. So because if you get the results of their evil, what do you think they gonna get the results of your evil? Same thing. So what we at? A cuss out contest?
That's all it's gonna turn into.
Look, you can't have drama with nobody on the street. What you think you gonna battle everywhere y'all see each other at? Nigga in the line for the seat. At the movies, huh? You think you're gonna be in a battle when you get to the steakhouse here? It's gonna be a scrap there too. Something has to end. One of them.
Hey, bro. So you can't steal back what somebody stole from you?
No. 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 Ask OJ. Unless you want his reward. Go ahead. What we at?
Understanding the judgment of the Lord is coming anyway.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's telling you, people trying to do evil things at you and you being righteous, guess what? The Lord gonna handle this.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we want to see it right then and there.
Right then and there.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? But look, the Lord gonna enter the judgment, you enter the judgment. So if your people are trying to get at you for your beliefs, you stick to your beliefs. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you still honor your father, your mother, your sister, and all that. But it can't turn to me, you stole from me, now I'm gonna steal from you.
Right.
It can't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Understand, when we finish reading this, you're going to see exactly what the Lord's saying when he's saying.
That's right.
Verse 17.
What it say?
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Right.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Verse 18. If it be possible.
If it be what?
If it be possible.
Some people, y'all, you just can't talk to. You got to know when to cut it off. Right. You can't beg nobody for forgiveness. You can't beg nobody to forgive you. Go ahead, brother.
If it be possible,
right,
as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
See, as much as lies in you, live peaceably with all men.
Showing you some people it ain't possible.
It ain't possible.
So that means that's where you have to separate yourself from the situation. I just can't be around him. It's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem.
Verse 8, verse 19. Dearly beloved, right? Avenge not yourselves.
Not your who?
Yourselves, right? But rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord.
Right.
Therefore, if thy enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
See, look, and that works the opposite way around. Look, you can rail against this nation, but you can't hope for its demise. And we got people that came to this understanding yet, Israelites. You can't hope for its demise, and we got people that ain't even came up yet where they need to be. So y'all, we have to pray and coals be heaped on this nation's head. But this is the flip side of it. If they are giving you substitutes, you know what I'm saying?
Food stamps.
Food stamps. Look, you have to take what you can get. This don't mean bow down to them, but it's in like manner. If somebody you was feeding and they was railing against you and doing all this, you would stop feeding them, wouldn't you?
Y'all ain't lying either.
Yeah. What we at? Go ahead. What's up? Show about this.
I was bringing up that where it's in the scriptures where the Most High getting too high. We don't supposed to wish for the downfall of our enemies evil.
Right.
We don't supposed to want to see them. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, pray for your enemy. We're supposed to wish for the downfall.
Well, look. What it means is like now, you know, nigga, I can't wait till you burn in the lake of fire. How you gonna say that now? And Christ ain't came in. See, we can't hope like that. Like you already made it in because they saying they don't believe Christ. You can't hope for that. He says the righteous will witness the destruction of the wicked. So when you told, son, you squeaky clean, stand over here, then you would get to watch what happens to the wicked.
And we're going to rejoice.
And we're going to rejoice. But you ain't going to do it in this flesh right here, right now. You mad because he said that about your Messiah? They said it to the Messiah to his face. How you madder than the Messiah? Lesson Peter. Let's get to 66, y'all. We got about 3 or 4 more scripts, y'all. Then we're going to close out. And y'all, we're going to hit right here, Revelations 20. We're going to go to it. This is just telling you about your mindset when you get to the kingdom, because you're not going to be thinking about these things. Look, y'all, our parents have went on, grandparents and different things, and yeah, they lived a good life, and she was a good woman. But you know, as life keeps going on, you don't think about them no more. Because the memory of dead people is out of your minds. In the same way when Christ told the disciples, let me go back and bury my face. He said, look, today they buried the baby. It's time to roll with the kingdom. Let's read it. Where we at?
Isaiah 66 and what?
Start at verse 1. Hold on. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to 15. Y'all, we run out of time.
15?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody there? Isaiah 66.
Yeah, let's get right to it. You know, and this is what we're going to talk about. There's some key words that's going to be backed up in Revelation that talks about your mindset in the kingdom. Go ahead, brother. Isaiah 66:15.
All right. Isaiah chapter 66, starting at verse 15.
Uh-huh.
For, behold, the Lord will come with fire and with chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Verse 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Hold it right there. See, y'all, that's what I wanted to get. Brother, just help me out there. We want to start at 65 and get right to the meat of it. But 66 and 15 tells you, once again, what is the Lord doing with all flesh? What is he doing? So if the Lord is pleading nonstop, how much more can you, if you don't see nobody there, and you know the Lord has played with it because you know what he done with you? Do right. I'm going to ask you the last time. He keep pleading with you. Do right, or I'm going to have to put you down.
Yeah.
If he's doing that to you and you got in, if you don't see somebody, you know that they like, I just can't do right, Lord. You know my heart. Hold that, we're going to jump right back to Isaiah 65:17 is the meat of what's going to happen when we talk about the kingdom. So at 65:17.
All right. Turn back one page, y'all.
Yeah. And y'all read on down at 66 and you're going to see some things in there about if you call them swine when the Lord come back. If it's found in your vessel willingly. Willingly.
Consume
You
fire.
heard what Paul said in Acts 10. Rise willingly. Okay.
Stop reading.
What about verse 28? We ain't got to know verse 28. The pastor stopped there. If the pastor say stop, we stop.
We stop. We stop.
Right. Let's get it. Isaiah 65:17.
Everybody there? Isaiah chapter 65, verse 17.
Right?
For, behold, I create new heavens and new earth.
Right?
And the former shall not be remembered.
What shall not be remembered?
The former earth or the former heaven.
Look, because it was so wicked, it says when he creates the new, the former will not be remembered. Look, y'all, we are trying to remember. How's the only way we can remember what happened in the former life? I'm talking about before the flood. Adam and Eve's time. Read about it. There's no way we could, and then when we do know about it, what's the first thing we say? See, that was back in them times. Wait a minute, back in them times? It told you what caused that problem. The same thing is happening here. But we don't want to remember those former times. Why we got a chance to correct our ways. What you won't remember is sin. You won't remember that. You won't remember none of those wicked things. Those things won't be coming to your mind what you was into. But we read a little bit more. Let's read some more. Who got a question?
No, I had read on.
Okay, well, we're going to read on. Go ahead.
Verse 17 again.
What it say?
For behold, I create new heavens and new earth.
Right.
And the former shall not be remembered.
Right.
Nor come into mind.
See, nor come into mind when you create a new heaven and earth. Ask yourself, what do you want to remember the former things for? Look, when we came out of Egypt, he told us we have to do this or they're going to turn and do what? Go back into Egypt. Turn right around and went right back to the remembrance of your problem. That's your problem. Why are you turning back to your problem? Lot's wife did what? Turn back to what? They problem.
Look at something.
Where we at? Read some more.
Verse 18.
What it say?
Be ye glad and rejoice forever.
Be what?
Ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem and rejoicing, and her people a joy.
So we see right here that what New Jerusalem is going to be created for. Not for you to wonder about who ain't here. That thought process will not be in your mind. We're going to read that 1 Corinthians 15 when you are translating like